All right, welcome back to the Roast It Yourself podcast brought to you by Coffee Bean Corral and Current Crop Roasting Shop. I'm Stephen Burnett with Coffee Bean Corral in Jackson, Mississippi. And with me in person, in the flesh, in reality, in real time is Catherine Mansell, certified Q grader and director of Current Crop Roasting Shop in New Orleans, Louisiana. Catherine, you're here.
I'm here.
That's awesome. The dogs are
The
here.
dogs are here
They're being chill right now.
right
Should we
now.
knock on something?
Right.
Knocking
Yes,
on wood.
please. Yeah.
So yeah, we'll have. They're not going to be a guest star unless they force themselves in. They
Right.
have that right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome. Well, each week we set aside about 10 minutes to field questions from home coffee roasters and professionals alike about roasting, tasting, and most importantly, enjoying coffee. You can send your questions to questions@riypod.com. That's questions@riypod.com to get a nice shout out from us in an upcoming episode and to get your question answered. And I'll tell you what, we were able to get through a bunch of these questions in the forthcoming, well, it's already been done, but we're going to present it to you people that didn't get to go live stream. So it's actually a good time to send in questions because we have a smaller bank, which means there's less time you have to wait between submitting your question and getting it answered and becoming immortalized in the pod. So
Yeah.
go ahead and send us one questions@riypod.com. All right, so this week's question we've got from Darren N. And he says, "Hi, thanks for the podcast. I've been roasting coffee for several years and I started with a fresh roast SR 540, but currently use the Gene Cafe roaster. I understand that all coffees are different and there's no same way to roast different coffees, but I would like technical information, specifics if possible, on the following questions. Number one, is there a better way to roast with the Gene Cafe? I like to control temps more than just setting up my in temp and letting it do its thing. I have tried the roast along video instructions. We'll link to that in the show notes that you have on the website, but the coffee was bitter. I roast 10 ounces of green coffee at a time. Is there a way to bring out sweetness in coffee? This is question number two. A way to bring out sweetness in coffee. Is there a certain temp you hold coffee at first for a bit and then crank up the temp? Example, hold the coffee at 350 for a minute and then crank up the heat, or is that not a good idea? You've talked about slow roasting versus fast roasting, and just wondering what is a slow roast versus fast roast on the Gene Cafe, and what temps make the dreaded baked coffee. That's three questions there. Thanks, Darren N. Well, Darren, thank you for the question. Yeah, Catherine, which one do you want to tackle first?
Um, let's see. Is there a better way to roast on a Gene
Mm-hmm.
Cafe? So I've seen people many times talking about increasing the temperature and decreasing the temperature all throughout the roast. Normally, when I use a Gene Cafe, I'm doing one of two things. I'm either setting my time and temperature for a nice medium to medium dark roast, letting it go and letting it go through the entire cool down phase, and then pulling it out. So traditionally a low and slow. When I want something a little bit lighter, a little bit sweeter, I increase the temperature and shorten the time of the roast. And then once the roast is finished, I emergency stop it, pull it out, and cool it in a cooling tray.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't have as much experience um, changing the temperatures all throughout the roast. Do you have anything on that?
Yeah, I've done that. We have people that will send us recipes on that, and now obviously everyone's experiences are going to be different. These machines, while excellent, they're going to roast coffee differently, based on a bunch of different variables. So I'm not saying no one has success with this, but when I have attempted to replicate a roast where it's like, at 1 minute make this change, at 5 minutes make this change, by the time I roll around to make that change to 5 minutes in, and they say, okay, now you're going to drop the temperature to whatever or increase the temperature. I haven't even hit the temperature that I had targeted five
Right.
minutes ago.
Yeah.
So to me, if I haven't even hit that target temperature, why am I making these changes?
Right.
Um, so it's not that I don't think you should do it or shouldn't do it. I don't think the machine is that fast. I don't think it
Right.
heats up and gets to temperature quick enough for you to make those kinds of changes. And Darren, if you can do that, if you by the time you get there, it's already been at your target temperature for like a minute, and you're not ready to change it to something else, and it will get down there in a timely fashion. Cool. That's not been my experience with the
Yeah.
Gym Cafe. And that kind of leads in to this the sweetness question you had. We're doing them in order. I was like, which one do you want to do first? You want number one? Okay, well now number two.
Yeah.
Number two, the sweetness question. It kind of leads into the sweetness question because in general, if you want a sweeter cup, or is it more you want a shorter roast, right?
Yeah. Or that development phase after the first crack,
Hmm.
that gives you some sweetness too, right?
Yes, it
And a
does.
little bit of development. So once your first crack is over or getting close to being over, would that be a good time there to decrease that temperature, or would it take too long and would it
Potentially.
still increase as it was going through?
If I okay, so if I was trying to stretch out the development phase, instead of decreasing the temperature after first crack, I would just enter cooling mode faster
Right. Okay.
because you're not that cooling mode is still roasting for a
Yeah.
little while. I mean, it's what is it a 12
Hmm.
minutes cool?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty close.
So I mean, imagine 3 minutes of that, a quarter of that. It's still probably the coffee's at roasting temperature because the
Right.
machine's so hot.
Yeah.
The heating elements are still hot, even though there's no electricity running through them to heat them up. And so maybe not 3 minutes, but you still got a minute or two
Right.
where it's still at that roasting temperature, and of course the coffee's sharing temp with each other. So if I wanted to kind of elongate and kind of slow down in that development phase, I would it's basically as soon as first crack got rolling good, I would go ahead and go in cool mode
Right.
and let it run through the full cool mode
Yeah.
because it's still going to be roasting.
That sounds like a
Um,
pretty good experiment.
yeah, I
Something to
think I would
try.
try that. I think I would try that, and that's I guess the ultimate thing is
Yeah.
experiment. The slow roast, fast roast. When does the coffee become baked? Um, oh, and before we get into that third question, we're gonna do a two B because you mentioned that following the roast along video, you got bitter coffee, and that's something to bitterness. There's a lot of factors that go into that as a note, or as like, oh, I got a really bitter cup. And honestly, brewing is a big factor of that. Now, I don't know how you brewed it, and it may be brewed the exact same way you did for every other bit of coffee, and it is the roast. But oftentimes, bitterness comes from over extracting the coffee, and so it's just possible that that the coffee, in the way you brewed it or in how dark it got, you just were able to extract more of that coffee than you otherwise would have liked, and the coffee came out bitter. There's a lot of reasons for a coffee to taste bitter, and the roast is only one factor of that. So more information on like what notes you were getting, how you brewed it would be helpful in determining that. But yeah, so slow roast versus fast roast, baked coffee. Catherine, what do you have to say about that?
Uh, with baked coffee, I don't really think of it as a specific temperature. It's really baked coffee is too long of a roast, where you've gone too far, and everything that you've done, uh, temperature change wise and development wise, you sort of bake out of it the longer you roast. So any roaster essentially m- more than what 20 minutes
Yeah,
roasting is going to
yeah,
give you a baked roast. So on a fresh roast, longer than 12 minutes is going to give you a pretty baked
yeah,
coffee. The Gene Cafe is a little bit different only because it has such a long cool down phase, that if you set it to a 20-minute roast and then it goes through the cool down phase, it's going to be baked. So
yeah.
I don't think it's specifically a temperature. I think it's the length of time, and the lack of adjustments.
Yeah, and I think with a baked coffee, I mean, you would know. They just it's a weird word until you've had baked coffee.
It's flat.
It's very flat. There's nothing to it. It
Yeah.
tastes brown. Like it's literally it.
Yeah.
And so it is going to be stretching that roast too long, and it is a bit dependent on the type of roasting that you're doing and the
Right.
way that the coffee's been kind of the chemical reactions that have taken place leading up to. But you can flatten any coffee out just by keeping it in the roaster too long.
Yeah.
So that's why with the Gene Cafe, if you want a sweeter or more bright or more interesting cup, and you especially coming from we didn't talk about this. He's coming from a fresh roast.
Hmm.
Fresh roasts are quick.
Yeah.
They're quick roasters. So you're used to A, and you're also used to making a bunch of changes and controlling the coffee throughout.
Right.
It's a different style of roasting with the Gene.
Yeah.
So if you want a quicker roast in the Gene Cafe, crank up the temp, lower the time, and see what you get there. Enter cool mode like right when you get into first crack, and see if that works better for you. It gives you more of that fresh roast TM,
Yeah.
business there. So
And if you think that cool down phase is really messing things up or taking too long, you can always hit the emergency stop, get a towel or a glove
mhm.
to remove the chamber and then cool it at an outside source. That may sort of, if you're tasting baked coffee, that may be something that's contributing to it, depending on how long your roast is before the cool down phase. So one other thing to just sort of check out and try is stopping it and cooling it in an outside source.
Absolutely. And that is called an emergency stop.
It is.
So keep that in mind.
Yes.
What you would want to do, and we've done this before, is you pull it out for the emergency stop. That does stop the cool down of the unit. You don't
Hmm.
really want to do that. So
Right.
pull it out, dump it in your external cooler, colander, dual basket bean cooler, link in the description. Super nice. And then put the canister back in, start it, and go into cool down immediately to
Yeah,
continue cooling down the roaster so that you don't take lifetime off the roast.
exactly.
But
Yeah.
overall, yeah,
Good tip.
Darren, this is good. We got in the weeds on the Gene Cafe, so but yeah, thanks for the question. We hope that was helpful and gave you some jumping off point to do some more experimentation. But Catherine, given the fact that we just sat here for 10 minutes talking about a Gene Cafe, is 10 minutes, does that exhaust everything there is to say about roasting on a Gene Cafe?
Never.
No, it doesn't. I didn't think it did. And so there's more to say. And so we're not going to say it. You got to say it. In the comments on the YouTube, or I'll talk to the old person. In the
Yep.
comments on the YouTube, in the comments on the podcast, say what you have to say about the Gene Cafe. Send us questions. Leave us ratings, reviews, whatever. Share us with friends and family. Get them. Anybody that looks at you weird when you tell them you roast coffee, just send them our podcast so they know that it's not just you. We're all weird,
Yeah.
and they might catch the bug and start wanting to do it too. So we're excited to watch the Roast It Yourself podcast grow and continue to grow and reach more and more folks. We can't do that without you. We also can't do that without the wonderful people that back us at Coffee Bean Corral and Current Crop Roasting Shop, especially those that help with our audio and video and make us sound and look good. We appreciate y'all so much for letting us do this and helping us out. Remember, you can send any questions you have about coffee roasting in general, coffee drinking, enjoying, whatever, to questions at riypod.com. Otherwise, have a great day and happy roasting.
Happy roasting.